fierce rivalry for dominance in the Middle East. As a matter of fact, last December, things crossed a massive red line when Saudi Arabia airstrikes targeted UAE-backed proxy forces in Yemen. On top of that, there is a full-blown war happening right now between the US and Israel and Iran. And so the Straits of Hormuz, the waterway where 1/5 of the world oil flows, has been blocked. And the UAE has been furious at its Gulf partners for having a weak response to the Iranian aggression. Basically, the UAE looked around and decided they no longer wanted to be held back by an organization controlled by their rival, Saudi Arabia, especially at a time when their national survival and economic growth were basically on the line. So why is this so problematic for the rest of the world? Well, the UAE was OPEC's third largest producer. But more importantly, along with Saudi Arabia, UAE was one of the only countries in the world with meaningful spare capacity, meaning they could quickly turn on the taps to flood the market with oil during a crisis to stabilize the prices. Now, by leaving the cartel, the UAE takes roughly 4.8 million barrels per day of capacity out of OPEC's control. The market is losing its shock absorbers, if you want to put it that way, because without the UAE, OPEC becomes structurally weaker and will find it incredibly difficult to stabilize prices. With Brent crude already trading at $115 a barrel due to the conflict with Iran, this fractured supply landscape guarantees highly volatile, completely unpredictable global oil market moving forward.
Unpredictable. As we can see, the prices keep fluctuating and the shortages keep presenting themselves. Let's hope that we have some type of formal conversation with everything that's going on right now globally in Guyana so that persons can equip themselves as they should necessarily moving forward, because this is not something we could just bury our heads in the sand and think it's just gonna pass. No, we got to make sure we pay attention. Very important, y'all. Let's see what Barbados do. Barbados went forward and said, listen, this is a global oil crisis that is coming and we got to partner up with one of the countries. Well, the country with the biggest oil reserve in the world. Barbados said, listen, I gotta do. What's Guyana gonna do? What is Guyana really gonna do moving forward? What's our steps? What's the conversation being had in Parliament? Up to now, we hear nothing like that. Up to now, there is no parliamentary conversation. There is no unified front with everything that is taking place. We all think about what we're hearing right here, Delta 9 Travelers. Drop it into the comment section or call it in. Let's have some real meaningful discussion on these headlines. Some of them that I would have highlighted, and definitely some more headlines to come. From who? The Honorable Mr. Hampton Green, the elder, is here to highlight this for us right now.
And you know who they are. Give them ministerial positions and other positions. Has repeated the whole cycle of doing what the Imperial Master did.
What you ought not to say.
What?
Do not say what you ought not to say.
That the present administration has repeated the whole cycle of doing what the Imperial Master did. Keeping the majority of people in the place, identifying a few folks, and you know who they are. Give them ministerial positions and other positions, so you tell the world we have a mixed governance. But we know There are just 3 or 4 people who determine how the money is collected and how it is spent. And this is an old imperial trick beginning from what happened in West Africa and parts of India. The answer is we've got to educate our young people, irrespective of race, color, or creed, as the danger they face
Mm-hmm.
and the potential they have if they stand up like men. I listened to the Cuban ambassador who made a fantastic statement on color or creed.
Say that one more time for emphasis, Elder, because it's important. It's important that we hear that one more time for emphasis. Very, very important. Very important that we hear this one more time. Information coming in from who? The leader of Good Green Guyana, the Honorable Hamilton Green.
The answer is we've got to educate our young people, irrespective of race, color, or creed, as the danger they face and the potential they have if they stand up like men. I listened to the Cuban ambassador who made a fantastic statement at this hotel in Charlotte Street a few Sundays ago. And I was appalled that our president can repeat the same language that his new bosses are using about democracy in Cuba. What is democracy? When one man or a cabal make all the decisions as we see here and elsewhere, ignoring the fact that the Cubans have given unbelievable help to our people in this country, trained doctors, engineers, sacrificing their own people. And we have a government who are preaching about Cuba must go for democracy. What is democracy? By their term, the demons gone crazy. But I'm repeating myself. Unless we teach our young people in primary schools, secondary schools, and in our university, the history of this country, to give them the strength to face a new form of being recolonized, we are in serious trouble. Where the big bucks are not going our way. Where we have projects cost billions of dollars, and we can't. Where I live, for the week, we had blackouts, but yet you have 2 Turkish ships and all this billion spent.
Yeah, I'll leave some of what the elders highlighting right there. Yeah, I think about the Delta 9 travelers. Drop it into the comment section. Call it in because listen, big up yourself to the Honorable, one of the longest serving mayors in Georgetown, Honorable Mr. Hampton Green, right? Highlighting some details, I'm telling you, that if we don't take heed, to what our elders are pointing out, then as the youth, we're going to have a whole lot of hurdles that we're going to have to deal with.
You know why? Money is not a problem. It is management. And so long as you pick management, not based on competence nor experience, but on who are friends and who can split the dollar, we have this situation continuing into the next generation.
Mr. Green, to this end, what message would you have for Guyanese, even as we are celebrating independence in some levels of uncertainty? What assuring message would you give to Guyanese in closing?
My message is to let parents, adults and elders pass on to their children the struggle for independence, and don't take it for granted, and to prepare an educational package within the communities, within the schools, within the households, to say to our young people, we've got to protect and preserve that independence which we got 6 years ago. And that independence must go beyond the flag, an anthem, and a few slogans. It must mean harmonizing and mobilizing our God-given resources for the benefit of our people.
I'm telling you, I wonder how many persons in certain positions of power got plans that are similar or might heed some of these insights coming from one of the longest serving mayors, right? And one of our politicians, one of our leaders that would have been around even before independence, that could give us that insights, that could give us that historical foundation coming from all those many, many years of experience and service. I want to say a special thank you to Honorable Mr. Hampton Green for all his many, many years of service, and for still at this age in his life coming forward to highlight and to educate the younger generation on some of these insights right here.
Is our people, in particular the African slaves, who civilized the entire coastal belt by digging thousands of miles of canals and dams. Walter Rodney's book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, is a good example of what I'm talking about. That we must respect and remember the sacrifice of our ancestors. The Indians who came here practiced deferred gratification so they can climb the ladder. We must not surrender that to clever form of being recolonized. And that's what was happening as we celebrate 6 years of independence. I have no doubt that you hear all kinds of statements from the ruling cabal, ignoring the fundamentals that we are not benefiting from the grace that God has given us. I have a theory that if we don't make use of our blessings, it will become a curse. Good weather, plenty resources, and say to the government, we don't want you being ubiquitous, controlling everything. And that's what we're hearing. Let the Constitution work. Let the concept of local government be real. Let the institutions and the commissions function as they were intended to function. Our young people, therefore, must be bold and not look. When I attended the thing to honor the Cubans, I spoke to many young people in and out of the public sector. And the recurring statement, they were afraid to show their faces at the square of the revolution and at the bar in Charlotte Street. They were afraid for fear of being victimized in one way or the other. We must eradicate that fear.
International Media Day. We got to eradicate that fear. You hear what Honorable Mr. Green is highlighting? You got one other meditation where you're saying, oh, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Watch what's going on in the nation already. And if something is not said, nothing is done, then we're on a slippery slope. And we could already see what's taking place. Could already see what's going on.
Because fear in these days is our worst enemy. The message is our young people, be fearless without breaking the law. Speak up, write. And even among the PP supporters, the majority were not getting the benefit from our bounty. It's going to the hands of a few cabal. Speak up. Look at the figures. I read cartooning over the past few days. Figures are frightening. Another 200 odd million US for this gas to show project. As they said, we now become the milking cow. Young people of Guyana, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Don't be afraid. Speak up. Your ancestors, whether they were slaves, aborigines, or indentured laborers, worked hard to build this country.
Telling you, can't let all of them go down the drain. All of them many, many years of toil, all of that blood that was spilled, all of the sacrifices that were made, right? Can't let it go down the drain, buddy. You, Honorable Mr. Green is highlighting. Got to stand up. Got to say something. You got to make sure that you highlight the details of what's taking place. You understand? Or else next